What's up, everybody? You already know we're back at you with another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Got this brother on today, been through some stuff, got some experience. He's one of them dudes that some people probably, talk about. But anyway, Rico, tell the people who you are, where you're from, and let's talk about you.
Hey, what's up, Chad? How you doing, man? My name is, for most of the people watching this, you'll know me by Rico. Otherwise, BG, Brother G. Watson L. I'm a Moorish American out of Chicago.
Let's talk about your life, man, and what it was like growing up in Chicago.
Well, I had a shocking transformation from the suburbs of Oak Park. After 6th grade, we moved to the city, and there was gangbanger boogie ever since.
When you talk about
Automatic.
we talk about gang banging, boogie, and all of that stuff, right? What was it like to be gang banging as a young kid? Is this you just believed in this and it was balls to the wall? It was whatever.
Well, it was a matter of perspective. When you're a shorty and you see these guys riding around in these Park Avenues and Cadillacs with Trues and Vols, and you hear them a mile away, that's what you want to be. They were gangbangers. That's what we wanted to be, and that's what everybody around us wanted to be.
When you're young and you're involved in this gangbanging life, right? You ever think about the consequences, or do the consequences, they just don't matter?
You don't think that far. And you think about it, you're talking about children. Pre-developed brains, just don't think that far.
Never.
And then the action is on you, so you really don't have time to stop and think. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. So, when you were a kid growing up in Chicago, what side were you on?
I was on the other side. Hey, Chad, listen, I tend to try to keep my previous affiliations unanimous. Anonymous? Because what happens is a lot of people put that label on you, and it sticks, doesn't go away, and I just don't want that kind of energy. But I've been there, done that.
So let's talk a little bit about how you end up going to prison, right? How old are you when you first catch your first bid?
Well, okay. First, this is how it works out here in Chicago. I'm sure you heard it before. You catch a case, they let you out. You catch another case, they let you out. You catch another, you're in and out of the county, in and out. Some long, some short. So before I actually went to the penitentiary, I probably did about a good 2 years in the county altogether. Robberies, UUWs, stupid, petty, dumb stuff.
When you talk about robberies, right? What are you robbing these people for? How much money do you get? There's some young dude that probably needs to hear this.
I was a drug addict. So I was a petty thief, a petty robber. I just took what I needed to do what I had to do. And once I got on my roll, it really didn't matter. So I just go straight to the drug dealers, rob drug dealers.
So you're running in the house robbing drug dealers.
And I'm catching them on the street, and I'm catching them when they sweep, when they can't have security because they're too hot, but they still got the dope out there.
You're robbing drug dealers. You ever get worried they're going to come back? There's going to be some type of retaliation?
Nope.
What goes into robbing a drug dealer? Do you sit back, make a plan, or you just like, I want to get high tonight, so you know what, I'm about to get this dude?
Well, usually what happens, this is crazy. Most of my criminal career was as a drug dealer, but I really had a hatred for drug dealers. So I didn't have no problem robbing. None at all. Because they're the ones that got me on this poison in the first place.
Well, let me stop you, because you seem like a pretty educated brother, right? You say they got you on the drugs, but I think more they provided the avenue, But you got yourself on drugs, right?
Much better use of vocabulary. Yes, sir.
So you hate these people because they're providing the means for your addiction.
But what I'm telling you was my mentality at that time.
That's fine. So you hate these drug dealers. You know, hey, I want to get high and I'm going to benefit. I'm going to rob these dudes. I hate these dudes, dislike them. I'm taking their shit.
Yeah.
How you doing it? You doing it with a gun? You just running up on them, putting them in the chokehold? How's it go down?
You know, armed robbery, firearm.
You ever have them shoot back at you or try to clap you?
I got quite a few stories. Yeah, I got quite a few stories about that, but I don't really want to get into that, Chad. You know, because like you say, let's just say I qualify. You know, to have been doing the stupidest stuff and getting caught in that cycle of viciousness. You know what it is. You know where it ends up. It's the same trap for all of us.
100%. What's the Cook County Jail like when you walk in there? How old are you when you're doing a bucket of time over there?
Whoa. All right. So I think the first time I went to the county, this is crazy because my father was in there. He was fighting the murder. I was in the. Yeah, that's crazy. He was in another building, but we were in the same unit. And in the event, though, the place where they put me, they called Gladiator Schools, Division 2, in Cook County Jail. And that's what we did with Gladiator.
Give us some details. Give us some details what a Gladiator school is like. There's some young kid that needs to hear it.
Okay, so I got to get my mind back into that because it's a different mindset in there. And the penitentiary is too much in my head. But at that mindset, these are people coming right off the street. So you're talking about people that's, you know, probably a good 80% alcoholics and drug addicts. So you got withdrawal symptoms. You got all kind of mental health issues going on. And these are shorties because I was young. So what the thing was is who could be the first to kick it off? That was it. Once somebody stole on somebody, stabbed somebody, smacked whatever somebody, everybody got to get down. And you never know when that's going to happen. You don't know if it's going to be your guys that send it up or the ops that send it up. And that's every day, man, all day. Cook County Jail, fresh. I'm still a teenager. I think I turned 17 and caught the case a month later or something like that.
Most violent thing you've seen in that Cook County Jail?
You ever heard of a pumpkin head?
Is that when they jump on your head?
That's sure what the fuck it looks like when they get through. But yeah, so when the actual head is so puffed up that it looked like a pumpkin, because they got shipped. Somebody fucked up so bad they got this coming. And I just happened to see it because I was sitting right there in front of the bathroom on the upper deck. But they had shifts. So you know how easy it is to get tired from just punching straight. After about a minute, unless you in tip-top shape, you're running out of gas a little bit. So whoever ordered this switched them up every minute. And they only beat this dude for about 20 fucking minutes, man. I ain't never seen that. That was, now I done seen the pumpkin head. It's usually, they got some lumps, let them go. This shit was different. But they didn't put the feet on them, no, Chad. It was all hands.
Do you feel like seeing that as a youngster, do you feel like that affected you or no?
You know, not at the time. Not at the time. At the time, I was just like, damn, dude fucked up. What did he do? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you know, from the streets, used to violence.
Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Said, yeah, it's a lot. You know what I mean? And I got to be careful about what I talk about as well. You know what I mean? So, most violent. The most violent.
Do you think it affected you later on in life, the violence that you've seen, the violence that you experienced?
I'm numb. I'm numb. You know what I mean? I'm so used to walking past it. Don't pay attention to it if it ain't your business. You know what I'm saying? To where it's just like in there. You know what I'm saying? I got big mental health issues, Chad. I'm in therapy and all of that.
Okay,
PTSD, huh?
I said, okay, I'm listening to you.
Right, PTSD. So when we talk about how it affected me, post-traumatic
Stress disorder.
stress disorder.
So let's talk about this, though. Eventually, you end up going to prison, right?
In the state, yeah.
So how much time do you get in the state?
I got like 7 years. You know, they stacked all them cases in there, so it was like 7 years. And I did 3.5. You did half back then.
So you did 3.5 in the state. What's state prison like over there in Illinois? I mean, we see a lot of this stuff on TV, but what's it really like?
Well, I could tell you about back then. From what I understand now, it's a different story. But a lot of that stuff you heard is real. The organizations ran the prison. You know, the organization set down what's going to happen, what, you know, blah, blah, blah. And like you were, I forgot, somebody you were interviewing was explaining that in those days, if you catch a shot, you go to the shoe, the guys come get you out. You know, they got the lawman on deck to beat the shot. You know, all that kind of stuff. Used to be like that. Which is real dangerous. I didn't realize the dangerousness of the place that I was at until later on. Because it was my first spot. I was in Galesburg, Illinois. There was quite a few heavily respected organization members in that institution, so you know that kind of opened it up. It was nice, but you know, for that.
Predominantly black, correct?
Yes.
What's it like for white dudes over there in that prison back then?
I'm gonna tell you, Chad, it's rough on a white boy, man. But I saw something. Now, I'm going to give you a little history, and obviously I haven't been there, but there's another point I want to point out. My father was a vet, Vietnam vet, and when he was in jail with me fighting the body, so he was a killer too. And what I wanted to point out, Chad, is if you ever think about how many of the guys that like raised you were Vietnam killers and convicts.
Let me tell you this, my father, right, my stepfather, he had a friend that was a Vietnam vet, black dude, pretty serious dude. He ended up losing his mind. He had a shootout with the police, man, in the 80s in my city. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So yeah, I've been around some Vietnam vets. It's one of my favorite things to actually read those books and watch some of them old movies. But Yeah, I mean, I've been around some of them, 100%.
So what I was trying to point out is that these are the guys that raised me. Most of the guys that raised me in the penitentiary, these are the same. This is that profile, that Vietnam killer convict. So I kind of got a different layout and perspective on things because of that. Right now, it's all chaos. But I got a lot of history and why things were the way they are and who did this and who did that and why. And, I'm one of those kinds where I want to know everything.
Yeah. So let's talk more about your father, right? You were in jail with your father. I want to ask you about that. What's it like to be in prison or in jail with your father and he's fighting a body?
You just don't really think about it. I tell dudes, my daddy over there, they're like, damn, but, it happens a lot than not. There's a whole lot of fathers and sons locked up together. I wasn't on the deck with him, so I couldn't rotate with him. I actually only saw him, I think, twice. Going to court, he knew I was going to court, so he worked in the kitchen. He got out there to give us the breakfast, and that was a walk by. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's crazy.
Does it hurt though? Did it hurt your feelings? Did it hurt your feelings that you were in jail with your father?
No, it wasn't, not because of that. It hurt my feelings because I was in jail, period. I considered that sucker shit. Suckers go to jail. That's what I thought. It's true. Suckers go to jail.
Hey, listen, I say it all the time, man. We all talk about we're men and we're this and we're that. Men make their own decisions. But if that police, he's a man, he tells you, hey, man, get in that cell and get naked, take your clothes off and spread your ass cheeks, you got to do it. So, are we really men? Some people might be offended by that, but you got to ask yourself that. I want to be a man for the rest of my life, bro. I don't never want to go back.
Yeah, and then, a lot, my father, may rest in peace, that body he caught was about some honor shit about his wife, not my mom. My mom's deceased. Some guy disrespected his wife and Pops murked him.
How much time did your father beat the case, or did he get found guilty?
Nah, he did the time. He ended up doing 7 years on a second-degree manslaughter. Cause he only hit him in the heart twice. Or something about he only hit him twice. Yeah. He only hit him twice.
Shot him?
I don't know what that means. No, with a knife.
So he stabbed him, so he ends up with 7 years. Not bad for a body, right? 7 years?
That's another thing, Chad. A body wasn't nothing but 8 years back then. You hear me?
I hear you. So the government and the prosecutors didn't value life either if it was happening in the hood, right?
Yep.
What if your father would have went out to hold on now? Hold up. What if your father would have went out to the suburbs and killed someone out there? Would he have gotten more time?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And that's a matter of just, economics. The Cook County courts are so flooded that, it's basically a pipeline and they're just shoving you through. Out there in the suburbs, it's less, they got more money, and they want all the time they can get up out of you.
So you end up doing, about 3.5 years, right? You get out of prison. What's your life like when you walk out of prison?
I was all set on a career path. I determined that I wanted to be a drug counselor. I went to community college. And then fell off, started selling drugs, and then that was, the rest of the story. Right back.
Right back. You go back to state prison?
Out at that point, yeah. Right back to the state prison. This is so stupid what I did. Let me tell you. So this one was in Division 11 in Cook County Jail. Yeah, Division 11 in Cook County Jail, that's maximum security. Now, where I was at before was max security, but this Division 11 is new. They just built it, so it's like super max security. So you get like an old max and a new max. So this is the new max. I come in fresh, and because of my previous affiliations, and I elevated the leadership positions in my organization in the penitentiary where I left. So I know how things go. And by me being of that knowledge, the deck that I fell on, the unit that I fell on with a bunch of higher-ups in the organization automatically put me in a higher-up position, and I just came in. So with that being, the toilet bangers?
Yeah, the toilet
rods?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 of those. I got 2 of those in the door. Then the whole unit is on red alert because some gang chief in some other visiting room got into it with another organization, and now they about to send the whole county jail up. And I'm in the, oh my God. I copped out in 42 days, got out of there as fast as I could, Chad. They said you could get boot camp. Let's go. I escaped that shit. I got out of that shit, man. That's another reason. Them situations will make you take whatever they give you to just get out of there.
So how much time do you end up with this time? How much time do you end up with the second time? What do you get on the second bid?
So I got 6 months boot camp. What they did was they messed up my paperwork, so I ended up going to the penitentiary. I mean, yeah, the one in the penitentiary. It was it was a real shitty joint. But I ended up going there, and I had to fight my way back to the boot camp that I wanted. Then by the time I got to boot camp, it was about a year later, and I'm thinking I only got like 8 months to go or some shit like that. So when I get to the boot camp, the police disrespect me so much, I snapped and japped out on the fucking police, and then they sent me to a max joint in Illinois, Big Muddy, and then from Big Muddy they sent me to a real sweet educational joint where I got a whole bachelor's degree up out of it, but I had to end up doing 2 more years. Stupid. And because of that, I said to myself, you're institutionalized, bro. Snap out of this, right? Snap out of this. And I said, okay, how do I snap out of this? Educate. So I soaked up everything I could, but that wasn't the answer, Chad. Wasn't the answer. So I got out with a bachelor's degree, and I got a job with Marriott Vacation Club International. Made a little money there, and I ended up hustling with the girls and dancing and stuff like that, underground clubs and shit like that in the city. So I made I did pretty good with that for a while until I got caught up in the spirit. Because, it's evil spirits in that nightlife and that type of, environment. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not on the block selling dope or robbing nobody, you know what I'm saying? I'm just helping these girls. Bullshit, Chad. bullshit. It's just a straight path back.
So was that your
I
last?
ended up. Go ahead.
Was that your last bid? Are you done with prison? You done with jail, or what?
Nah. So I relapsed back into the drugs, and less than 6 months later, I had a Fed case. What ended up happening is that actually this was one of my guys. One of my guys' daddy set me up with the Fed, hand to hand. My case is crazy, Chad. The CI, it was basically supposed to be a trade, drugs for guns. The CI used to have all the guns. So I tell the CI, give me some guns. He hooks me up with the ATF. Long story short, the ATF gives me a box of guns and then immediately charged me with possession of firearm.
How much drugs are exchanged?
Career criminal, mandatory minimum 15. Huh?
How much drugs are exchanged for the guns?
A total. I had 5 drug counts. The total, I believe, was 26 grams for all of those counts. So that's total.
So 26 grams.
Petty shit.
26 grams, petty, less than an ounce. And your mandatory minimum is 15 years in federal prison.
That's just on the guns. And this was pre-Booker.
So talk to me. How much time do you end up getting?
I ended up getting 15 on the dot. But it took me 5 years. I was an MCC for 5 years fighting that shit. My stupid ass was going to go to trial based on, I'm telling you, sometimes I worry about myself. But I was actually about to go to trial, man, based on a defense called selective prosecution, which if I would have got that defense, I would have had something to fight. Otherwise, I didn't have nothing. And my brother, rest in peace, today is his birthright. My little brother passed away the day before I was going to trial, Chad.
How'd your brother pass away?
Huh?
How did your brother pass away?
I'm not sure, but they said that they found him dead on a train, on the L. So like he just died on the train. I was locked up, so I don't know what the particulars were. And I left it at that.
So you end up.
I didn't want to find out nothing. I didn't want to know.
So you end up with a 15 piece. You're on your way to federal prison, right? What's it like to get sentenced to 15 years? How do you feel inside when the judge says, "Look, I'm sending you to prison for 180 months"? What's that like?
Well, man, Chad, I told the judge, if you can get to my sentencing transcripts whenever you get a chance, you'll see exactly, because I'm butchering this. But I told the judge about how systematically racist the system was and how stacked it was against people like me and blah, 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 which can easily be read as a not taking responsibility, right? And bottom line, he gave me the 15. But I had to say what I had to say, bro. And the marshal said that's one of the best, he ever heard. One of the best sentencing
Elocution.
From one of the best ones he ever heard.
So what's your first federal prison? You're on your way to federal prison, different than the state. What's your first federal prison?
USP Hazelton.
Hazelton, one of the most dangerous prisons you could ever be in, right? You're walking in there. I mean, are you rotating with your guys from the neighborhood, or are you doing your own thing?
man, I'm ducking everything from, I don't want to do nothing. I'm saying this jokingly, but everybody know I'm so damn serious. I really didn't want to deal with nobody from Chicago, man. You know why? Because most of the people from Chicago, most of the people, depending on where you at, was gang affiliated, and it's so easy for gang affiliated members to pop off so quick. And like if you my homie and it pop off and I'm right there, I gotta go, and I just don't want that. So I didn't get in the coalition. I was pretty much solo in Hazelton, except for the Moorish Americans. I'm a Moorish American. I've been a Moorish American in just about every institution I've been in. Been the Grand Sheik or the chairman, which is essentially the number one or the number two at each institution. So I'm a leader, and one of the things that I went in proactively was not attaching myself to anything that I don't have to unnecessarily. And so I wasn't a part of the coalition. And at the time, I'm stupid. Again, I'm stupid. The Moors didn't even have a car. They didn't even have a car. So, you know what that means, Chad. I had to find a cell, pretty much, and it's crazy because I think it was your guy, the native brother. I got there, I'm pretty sure I got there the day that they put that work in. The day before, I'm pretty sure. And that was over a cell. So I was in that similar type of situation with respect to just getting a cell. Now don't get me wrong. There was people looking out for me. A whole lot of people looking out for me. Almost everybody was telling me, "Hey, bro, you don't understand how this works. You with us, regardless of what you think. You are, but just know." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm not." And they like, "All right, we got you anyway, though." And that's how it was for me at Hazelton.
Hazelton, dangerous place?
Man, stayed locked down. Hey, Chad, you know a New York dude named Panna?
I know a few New York dudes named Panna. And one of them was Panama, who ended up getting out. He was the reggaeton guy or whatever. But go ahead.
Bell.
I don't know.
Anyway, Marcelli had 3 lives. That was end up being Marcelli. Had 3 life sentences. And the brother, the young brother that was trying to find me a cell, like some real fast getting, because I ended up in a cell with a dope friend. And I'm like, man, all right, look, I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? I can't be in the cell. No. And I mean a straight up dope friend. So, and dude was from New York. Long story short, Panna, my guy said, man, Panna right there said you can come stay with him. You can come over there. And I was like, how much time dude got? He said, man, that shit don't matter. I said, bro, how much time he got? So he got a elbow. But he said, listen, you got it fucked up. It's these young goofies around here that's starting all the shit. Most of these dudes with the elbows just trying to live their life. So I thought about that. And I was still like, man, fuck that, man. I'm not finna go in the cell with no motherfucker with life. Because I'm thinking a motherfucker with life just, ain't got nothing to lose. They don't get no fuck, whatever. But that was not the case. Dude ended up sliding on me. And he was like, hey, man, I know you contemplating going in there with me. But you said, just let me explain this to you. I would rather have you in there than one of these other knuckleheads, man. I've been watching you. You smooth. You be doing your law work and stuff. I'm fighting my case. We on the same page, bro. You gonna be all right over there. And just from the spirit, I felt the genuineness, and that ended up being one of my best sellers, man. Dude with triple life.
So you're over there in Hazelton, you're living your life. You got to carry a weapon over there or no?
I did not. I did not. And that's another thing. Stupid. But see, back in them days them Cook County jail days, you could push the knife and it ain't nothing. It's just regular every day. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? People get poked up. They let us go till we run out of gas, and then they come in and fuck everybody up. That's just riot shit. But they wasn't sticking you with the bangers back then. And as long as it wasn't no murders, you really wasn't catching no case. Now, they want to give you damn near a year where I was at anyway. Damn near a year for a sardine.
Can top. A can top.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I just want to cut my vegetables, man. I ain't gonna nothing to cut nobody. So I said, okay, I can't go in the penitentiary with that. I gotta stay strapped mentality because I'm gonna stay strapped, and I know myself because of that. I'm probably gonna create more. Me personally, I felt that I was gonna create more problems than I would otherwise. Now I know that sounds stupid, but that's just where I was at with it.
So how long are you in Hazelton before you end up leaving Hazelton?
It was like 18 months to the day. As soon as I got in there, I was that dude saying, hey, I'm not supposed to be here. Not supposed to be here. They was like, yeah, tell it to whoever you got to tell it to.
What's your next prison after that?
I go to Oxford. Hold on, let me back up a little bit. When I was in Hazelton, I knew the cook, the little white cook you had on there.
Yeah, I know you're talking about the dude that had the problems with his family, his kids. I know you're talking about.
Yeah. I remember him. He was the cook. I was the butcher. There's another thing, Chad. My first job was the butcher. Hey, listen. But listen,
Hey, let me stop you, man. Hold on, let me stop you. I usually don't stop people, but listen, man. Listen, bro. You're a crazy motherfucker, man, but you know what? You were the butcher, one of the best jobs in the whole prison, right?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna say the best job, because even Freddie can't get out with no meat. You know what I'm saying? The meat gotta come from the butcher shop, man.
How much money are you making?
Anyway, you know what that
Let's
means.
talk about.
You know what that means.
Hold on. Let's talk about the butcher shop, right? So people know. Look, you got control of the meat. Dudes that work in the butcher shop, they're making side money. You know, the government's probably paying you, if you're lucky, $100 a month, whatever. But really, you're making big money because you're selling meat. People are taking meat back, cooking it in the microwave, making wraps, selling. You're the man. How much money are you making from stolen meat from the Federal Bureau of Prisons a month? Give me what you're making a month.
Hey, I didn't do it, Chad.
What?
I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. So listen, let me tell you. All right, so, okay, now I know. I was already playing the kitchen at MCC. So in Chicago, I'm working the kitchen, and I pretty much got the feel of how the feds work with the kitchen. So I know what's happening. I know what this is all about. I know how to run. I know how to do it. I know all of it, right? I didn't expect to get the fucking butcher.
You muted. You hit your phone. You muted.
My fault. You hear me now?
Yeah.
Long story short, I drove down on the kitchen guy, and I told him, man, I grew up in a butcher shop, and I was the cook, the OM cook, first cook, and the butcher at MCC for 5 years. And he was like, you're hired. I was like, what? That? He said, you know how to do this, this, and that? He said, yeah, I'm put you in the butcher shop. Bet! So when I got in the butcher shop, first and foremost, everybody probably in the whole penitentiary was like, who the fuck is this? How in the fuck this dude come out of nowhere and get right in the butcher shop? I didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm good. I ain't did nothing like people. That's the type of shit SIS do. You know what I'm saying? You know that, right, Chad?
Know the system, brother. I've been there for 18 years. I know the system, brother.
So I got motherfucker. I know I got, and I know where I'm at. And these dudes, this is nothing but a fucking psych ward full of paranoid schizophrenics in the penitentiaries, man. So I know these dudes are, you know, thinking or plotting or whatever, and that spot is a very lucrative spot. So what I did is when I went in, I just went along with the program, and I didn't take nothing except for what I was gonna eat, or with, you know, enough of, you know, my little guys or whatever. That was it. I had big pressure from the Moors, from my guys from the street, different organizations, big pressure to get the pipeline going. But I didn't do it. Because I said, first and foremost, I'm not finna be killing no motherfucker about no stolen ass meat. And I'm not finna let no motherfucker kill me about no stolen ass meat. And I know how easy that scenario could play out under those circumstances. So I didn't go, Chad. I didn't get none of that butcher money.
The best job in the prison, and you didn't get none of the money.
Nope. Tell you something else. The brother that I was in there with, he good brother, but he was real gang conscious. You know what I'm saying? He was like really looking for anything coming. So out of the blue, just like I got in there out of the blue, it was one of the white guys, I think his name was Jerry, came in out of the blue, like fresh from wherever he came from. So I really don't pay no attention. But dude that was in there with me, he's telling me, hey man, you gotta watch out for this dude. I got mine. I know you say you don't fuck around, but he said, man, if anything pop off with this dude, he gonna try to kill us. And I'm saying, cause we locked in, you know, they locked you in the butcher shop.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know this dude, man. I don't know shit about him. You know what I'm saying? But this is the other brother telling me that this is the potential. And that is. Would that be correct?
You're locked in a cage in the butcher shop because you got knives. You got street knives in there. So if dude says, you know what? Today's the day, your ass might be out.
Those knives are like chained or cabled to the
table. They're on the cable.
We're talking about the banger inside the butcher shop. So in other words, if for whatever reason either one of us were to get into it with this person in this butcher shop, this person is going to try to kill us.
So do you get the white dude out of there?
I'm not sure, but I think he was AB. I think he was an AB guy. So something along those lines where those was them rules for them guys.
There ain't no rules that, hey, let's go in the butcher shop and kill the black dude. No, those ain't no rules.
No, the rules that says, the rules that says, no, absolutely tolerate absolutely no disrespect. That rule that some people sometimes when they just want to pop off, use that because you didn't say excuse me type shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, and like I said, the brother that I was in there, he was just being super aware and him knowing that, you know, this is a potentiality. So have your shit is basically what he's saying. Have your shit. Because we locked in here with this dude that's a killer. And he will murder us.
So did you guys make a pact that if he ever gets out of line, you're going to both work together and kill him?
It's self-preservation is the first law of nature. So, you know, that we didn't make no verbal pact or nothing like that, but you already know what it is, if that. And I'm saying, this didn't happen. I'm saying this was the potential. You know, this was the potential because also, you know how in the penitentiary, the cars try to take over shit. You know what I'm saying? Once a car gets their hands on a detail or a position or any type of edge, they stand on it to the point of TVs, tables, all of that shit. So it's like word is that once dude come in that butcher shop, he gonna be trying to take over it.
Yeah, I mean, that's prison politics, right? People get mad because you got the best job. So anyway, let's talk a little bit more. I know you end up making it to an FCI. You ever make it to the SMOO program, anything like that?
The SMOO program? No, hell no. Nah.
You never made it to Lewisburg, none of that shit, right?
And where? Nah. But they had one in Hazelton. This shit is crazy, man. Them SMOO dudes be out on the continent. This shit crazy. It's like a step-down program, what they call it. Right?
I know what the step-down program is, yeah.
Yeah, this shit is right there, but it's like, man, Hazelton is the craziest shit I ever seen, man. And then we didn't go outside; we were in tunnels.
I know you walk through the hallways. You can get anywhere in the prison through the hallway.
Yeah, man, everywhere through the hallways. So it's like in high school when the bell rings and it's all that. Well, that's penitentiary, all that in the hallways.
And if they want to get you in there, the gates are locked. There's nowhere to run. They can get you.
That's it, man. And that's one thing. They want to get you, they'll get you. If they want to get you. But that's why, like you were saying, a lot of people crash out.
Were you ever scared you're going to lose your life in there, bro?
A lot of times, Chad. A whole lot of times. So many times to where, you know, that fuck it mentality came. And you know, when that fucking mentality is just trouble. But yeah, a lot of times, I had guns to my head. I know we're talking about the penitentiary, but we got street and penitentiary. I'm thoroughly so traumatized, and I'm just now, because I'm just now thawing out, that I'm realizing how much I was actually hurt. You know what I'm saying? You know how like you might have a fight, you get down, you win, you knock dude out, but you really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But you don't notice it until later.
You ever had a physical? You ever
hit me all at once, man?
You ever have a physical altercation in there?
Many.
I'm talking about Hazelton.
Many. We did that. Gangbanger boogie. It was, and when I say, I want to say at least 25 riots in Cook County Jail. My first job in the Cook County Jail was to make the bangers. Make the bangers. I was the knife man, and I wanted to be the knife man. At that time. So that, I mean, you know, man, Them guys had us on like military. They had us like on some real military shit, man. And it was just in the one place in the day room. And at that time, it was overcrowded, so it's like twice the people that it was supposed to be. People were sleeping outside on the walks, man, in the day room. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. Let me stop you, right?
You reach out.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
The things that you've seen, the things that you experienced, and you said earlier you had some mental health issues, you're going to therapy. Do you think prison and jail helped make you a little bit crazy?
Yeah, absolutely. I do. And I've been proactively fighting against it. You know what I'm saying? You know what defeat looks like, Chad. You've seen it. You've seen those who've been defeated, man. And I wasn't going. I wasn't going.
I've been defeated a few times in my life, man, but I got back up, brushed myself off, and kept going, right? And it looks like that's what you've done. So you went from Hazelton, you ended up making it to an FCI, you ended up getting out of prison. What's your life like now, Rico?
There's a whole lot in between there, but we can get right to this. I got out April the 4th, 2016. My son got shot in the head April 20th, 2016. He fought he fought basically for 2 weeks, and then they expired him. So that happened to me. And it's only by the grace of God, and I can't tell you how, man. I can't tell you how I kept it together. I can't. But I'm here. I basically just put all my time into my family, and now I'm at a point where I'm finally at a point where I could put all my time into myself and start healing from this shit, man. Because I don't give a fuck if you acknowledge it or not. If you've been in the penitentiary, a real motherfucking penitentiary or a real jail, and you don't think you've been traumatized and you got some kind of shit that's still with you, you are highly the fuck mistaken. Highly the fuck mistaken. These the same stories. I'll tell you some of the shit, man. How many motherfuckers you know living in a basement coming out of the penitentiary? How many motherfuckers you know coming out of the penitentiary that get into it hardcore with their baby mamas, others, dudes, or they sisters, other dudes, or whatever, whoever the fuck other dudes just happen to be around? It's because you got this fucking mentality that's been banged into your head, and you don't even understand what it is until you can get out of it. And usually you be caught another fucking case. Swear, start all over again. But Allah bless, Allah bless me. I'm here, man. It's for a reason. And hey, Chad, this might be it. This might be the reason right here. Like you said, let somebody get an understanding that prison don't go away once they let you out.
I feel you, brother.
Say that again, man.
I feel you. What are you doing now with your life, man?
Yeah.
Are you working? You working a job?
I got disability. I'm on disability.
How old are you, brother?
Yeah. 50.
50 years old. What's going to keep you out of prison? You've been out for a while now. You haven't been back, right?
That's right.
What's going to keep you out of prison? You've been out a long time. What keeps you out?
Well, I got some rules, right? Here goes some of my rules. For the most part, of course, there's exceptions, but I'm in the house before dark. Why? Vast majority of criminal activity occurs during the nighttime. This is just simple facts, right? So by me not having to navigate at night, I take myself out of those risks of incarceration. And that's just by getting caught up in some shit. Not even being, proactively out there. Another one, I choose my circle so carefully. And it's about the size of a pin dot. I don't really talk to people, man. I stick to myself. I stay out of the way.
Well, listen, brother, you've been out, man. I know it's a struggle. I'm glad you came on the show and you talked and shared your experience. And one thing that people don't really understand, sometimes people just want to hear the bang 'em up stories, right? I can get on here and tell my own stories. I got 20 years of bang 'em up stories, but I don't really engage in that, right? Not too often. But, the reality is that prison does affect people. Coming out and living in a basement affects people. Coming out and your son gets shot in the head, it affects people. I had the dude on the other day and he was like, he was stuttering. But, he went back to look, man, he was affected by prison, man. Prison affects you mentally, emotionally, it hurts you.
Yeah, it's an infection. I like that, Chad. It's an infection, right? It's an infection. So just like when you got a cold, you can fight it, try to get rid of it, or just let it run its course.
Prison affects you or infects you. You can call it what you want, but that's what it does. But you know what, bro? I'm glad that you're out. I'm glad that you're free. I want you to live a healthy life, man, and stay safe. Anything you want to say before we get ready to close the show? Because I certainly appreciate you coming on and sharing this, and sharing who you are, and sharing your experiences. But before we go, what do you got to say, brother?
Well, I got a whole lot to say, Chad, so I know I only got a little time. But first I want to, once again, man, extend my gratitude to you for allowing me to let this shit out. The other brother said that it was therapeutic, and when he said that was my goal. Bam. Get up with this guy, because we need this. We need to get this out, but we need to get this out positively. And the only way we can do it is amongst us who understand. On another note, I want to ask you for an interview. I want to do the same thing you're doing, Chad. Right? I don't want to steal your stuff. I don't think I would be stealing your stuff, but I'm going to do something along those lines, and I'd like to make you my first interview, if that would be okay.
I'm here, brother. You got my number. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready, all right?
All right, and before that, though, can we arrange some type of part 2? Because we didn't get into no solutions yet, and I got solutions, Chad.
We're going to do a part 2, 100%. So the people will stay tuned. They're going to get a part 2. I'm going to tell you again, man, I appreciate you coming on. I think you do have more to share, and we're going to make that happen. We'll make it happen this week, all right? I'm going to tell people, if you like what we're doing, you know what it is. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Until tomorrow, we're out.